Kevin can cook. I cannot. So
Come on down, Kevin.
Come on down, Kevin. help cook for us. Something.
Of course not.
Oh man.
That was a fun one. I hope everyone enjoyed that show. Do we feel like the show format is getting better with the understanding that guests will come in, like we'll get guests?
No, you know my opinion on it. I love doing this. This is so much fun.
It's easier, right?
It is.
It's a lot easier than before. Less stressful. It's just it's easier to consume.
Yeah.
You? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. My only thing is that, just like what a lot of people have brought up, is that we keep things quick and concise.
Sure.
And
I
agree that we should have time to sit and discuss things, and like you've always said, the content dictates the time. So if we have a really interesting discussion, then let's not kill that. But
I think people are also used to us not going sideways. Like, we were very focused on making sure we stayed in our lane and didn't want it to go off to the side too much. I like to break that down. I like to break those walls down a little bit. I think it's okay that we talk about movies now. I think it's okay that we go off to the side a little bit. I don't. Certainly, the 2-hour shows need to not be a thing, with rare exception. But we've been whittling it down, right? That first show was really long, the next show was a little bit shorter, this one was a little bit shorter. We'll make the next one probably just a little bit shorter, and I think that will probably be about it.
Jan Dryak on YouTube, I feel much more like part of the discussion in this format.
Jan, that's great. That's exactly what we want. Because you are part of the discussion. You've always been a part of the discussion. And I think that this does a better job of targeting. I also think that...
I'm putting something here.
Oh, right, I can get my water now.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so sorry.
So we have these tables that Carrie Ann loves. They're called moon tables.
That was just awesome, though.
They're big and
You're
heavy.
Like, whack! I'm so enthusiastic.
They're neat, and they're right behind us. And what I've been doing, because I need to basically turn my body, I've actually been using it as an armrest. It's been really great, but like now I can't. Although I'm
It's
still
just that as a hologram, I'm just not used to physical objects around me. It's weird. Oh man. But yeah.
I'm excited for the guest thing, though.
40979 space should include all topics. Yep.
Crystal Ruffalo says the noise to signal ratio. It's funny, I always know it as signal to noise ratio, but noise is where you find some good stuff. I don't disagree, and I think this is what makes it human. And I think what happened was, this is totally my fault. So what happened was, we actually had good growth, and we had a good show, and we had a conversational show, and then we built the set, and I felt like we needed to be more official because we have this big, gorgeous, incredible space station set, and I wanted to do right by the amount of work that was done, because there was literally blood, sweat, and tears that went into this thing.
Yep. I had a nail go in my finger.
I sweat over half of these panels.
And it's amazing, and so then
I still have MDF in my lungs.
I tried to shoehorn the
think
show.
I do too.
Yeah, that's forever. That's never going away. Just so you know, that MDF is for life.
Diamonds and MDF are forever.
MDF for life.
I tried to make the show almost too serious, and I put us kind of in this weird murky middle area. And we got some rundown software, and then we kind of locked into this is our show format, and this is our rundown, these are our segments, and all of that was fine. But it stripped the humanity out of the show. And so I've been, for everyone here, I have been griping and complaining about the news format for literally years. And I have been poking at it, trying to fix it everyone knows me say this, this isn't right, this is what I want. And then I'm moving purely to scripts, that didn't work. Taking all the scripts away, that didn't work. This is the thing that I think worked, which was being you know what? Screw it. We're just going to sit and we're going to talk and we're going to have a good time. And
Thank you, Stephen Huxtable, off of YouTube. Hi, this seems a good format.
No, there you go. Hi, Stephen Huxtable. Yeah.
Hello.
There you go. I'm still in something, Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I figured you might. Anyway.
So I'm happy with the feedback. Thank you very much. I do listen to the constructive criticism, and I do agree actually with the commenter that the noise ratio was too high. But I think we did good. I think we did good on this show.
By noise ratio, does he mean us talking over each other, or
No,
I
just sticking to the topic.
Yeah.
Topic at hand.
Gotcha.
Why the hell did we ever talk about Nicolas Cage and get sidetracked with that? And what the name of that stupid movie was that I've never forgotten.
For the
and
knowing.
or what the Kiefer Sutherland TV show
You
was.
moron!
And or how those two were
stick
connected.
to the topic?
I'm not talking about the other TV show that I thought the Kiefer Sutherland TV show was named, which is also, again, not based off of the Nicolas Cage movie that, again, I've forgotten the name of.
You remembered it
Knowing.
subconsciously. You forgot the no of.
Apparently. Yeah.
No, that was.
Yeah.
A discussion poll.
Touch is not based off of knowing, which is not numbers.
You can have the
Which is
talking
like-
stick now.
Give that to me.
Yeah, Launchpad. Ooh, yikes.
Would that mean I never get to talk because I can never normally physically grab the talking stick?
Launchpad Astronomy says it's more conversational and less produced, and that's hard for me because, I come from television where everything's tightly produced, and so letting go of that and letting it not be tightly produced is, I think, what will make the show a really great success. We need to let go of our desire to highly produce these shows, and I think that will open it up, make it more conversational, and bring more people into the fold. Or I could be completely wrong.
At the same
Oh,
time,
wait, no, I took my earbud out. Now I can't hear that.
Ha, you did it too. I don't feel as bad now. I still feel bad though. I'm sorry.
No, I need to
You
undo.
still hear him without your.
That's true, because
I
I have
can't.
really
I
good
can't.
hearing, and he
All
can't.
right, hang on.
My ear was just not
Okay, there you
having
go.
it today.
At the same
Yeah.
time, I think we needed to go through the exercise of being overproduced and overdone,
Yeah.
so that everybody on board gets a feel and understanding for what to do and what not to do. And now that we can relax that a bit, I think everybody's a little bit tighter. Everybody knows what they need to do, but still have that lifelike conversation feel.
I don't think we've ever done anything wrong per se. I think that.
And, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, my
yeah.
Minnesotan came out there. No, I mean, look, it's a learning experience for us and everyone, and we're just trying to talk nerdy to you.
Free to ask Cameron Dutta when he's talking. Yeah, we're working on that. Stephen Huxtable again says, has Everyday Astronaut been on the show a number of times, not just as a guest, but also as a contributor.
I'm excited to bring him. Actually, I'm really excited to bring Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, back for the new format because I think he will just absolutely shine in this format.
The only person who could dominate more than Ben Credible is Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut.
Yeah, it'll be
Jared
the two of us.
coming at a very close second there.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll be the two of us, his shoes and my socks, that do the show, and no one else will say anything else.
Yeah.
Same.
Right.
I'm sorry, Lisa, you're going to cry when you watch this one.
Yeah. I'll hurt your eyes. Ben and Tim will hurt your ears. So.
I think you should not be in the chat room. I think you should be in the host room only.
Yeah, actually,
Because you were like, anything from the chat room? And I was like, no, not really, but thanks for asking.
Oh, well, I didn't. Yeah, I wanted to incorporate. It worked better in
I
segment 2.
appreciate that. No, I do appreciate that, and that there's nothing wrong with that. And part of that was me because you just rail over absolutely everything,
That's what I did.
and it never feels like shut up for a minute. Hey, I had a question about that thing. It never feels like that's an okay thing.
No, it's always an okay thing.
It doesn't. Maybe you're not hearing me. It does not feel like that is an okay thing.
I know. I'm just saying that it's an okay thing. I know the feeling's not there, but I'm giving you
We all know that
permission.
the only one that could actually be okay to get away with that would be Carrie Ann.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, it's
Dad
designed.
won't listen to us.
No.
So.
Dad doesn't listen to Dad. Technically, also, Dad doesn't listen to Mom either. He lets me talk for a minute and then just says whatever I just said to somebody else as a good suggestion that came from his mouth.
That seems like something I would do.
Helldesk has the suggestion of
You literally are on camera doing it.
Helldesk has the suggestion of shot collars for Ben.
Ugh, yeah,
Stop
that's
talking.
nice.
No, the internet would enjoy that too much, I think. I
Helldesk
think
also
they'd be like,
says,
ooh, shock Ben.
well, Helldesk says that everyone should get the remote.
I was just gonna say, only if it's community-driven Helldesk.
I also I have a name on YouTube.
Yeah.
It says Ben is my favorite and least favorite host.
Yeah, absolutely. Peter Quinn suggests Scott Manley. We've had
been on
Scott
the show
Manley
once.
on before, but we've not had him on in this format. So I feel like that is definitely a legit.
That's why I'm excited to bring some people back,
So
right?
glad I got
bringing-
myself a soda.
Yeah, thank you for getting me a soda. Bringing Scott Manley is going to be great.
Is that a
Tim Dodd, the
Pixies
Everyday
song?
Astronaut, is going to be great. I'm excited for Tori Bruno. I think he's going to be great. Oh man, Dave Maston. That's going to be another fun one.
It will and it won't be though.
He'll be like, I can't talk about that.
No, he only really
To
did
everybody.
that.
Well,
we joke about that,
he's
but
just gonna sit quietly in a corner for the whole show.
He'll have a beer. Yeah.
Actually, yeah. If we give Dave Maston,
So-
when you give Dave Maston a beer,
Isn't it a children's book?
So we're
It
gonna
is.
we're
It
gonna
is now.
add
Yeah.
we're gonna add a big oval table here,
Yeah.
right? Then the question is, should we bring on the alcoholic drink of our choice, kind of like Doug is gone now, but Graham Norton show.
yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be alcoholic though. I mean, sometimes
It
people
doesn't have
don't
to be,
want
but, like-
alcohol at 10 o'clock in the morning.
I
Well,
do.
have you seen? Anyways,
I've been
I
drinking since
always
6
want to drink
a.m.
because
It's
of you,
fine.
though. It's
It's
different.
Saturday. 6 a.m. Jesus.
I think that we should definitely
Jesus
have
Christ.
drinks, and we should just never specify whether they're alcoholic or not.
Yeah, I
Everyone watching could try to figure it out. Or
There
not.
is an old Space Vidcast thing that Carrie
I
Ann
can't
did.
believe you're bringing that up again. Yeah.
Back at the Crow River Coffee Company, what was it for? It was for an event of sort, or was it just post-show?
It might have just been post show. I don't recall. I think we were promoting the 24-hour Yuri's night.
Something like that. And she had a shot glass, and she would fill it.
I remember this.
I filled
She-
it with water.
She'd
Yeah.
fill it with water and take a shot, but she didn't say it was water.
No.
She just filled it with a clear substance and didn't specify what she was.
But you
And then-
played into it though. Like you
then
take a
she
shot and look at the camera and be like,
Oh,
yeah, that's good. Yeah.
yeah, it was good.
And by like the 16th, 17th
Yeah, people
shot,
were like,
the chat room
"Jesus,
is like, "Are
is
you
she
okay? Is this
It's
normal?"
not gonna be all right. You're
Well,
driving, Ben, right?
Living with Ben.
You have no idea. That's funny.
Oh, man.
So there was another really good suggestion. Oh, NASA Jim. Yeah, I think we should bring NASA Jim on again. Mr. Dr. Charles, I see no reason.
I would
Why
love to
not?
see competitors brought on at the same time.
Mr. Dr. Charles.
I broke it, Donna.
You broke
I
Donna.
wish you could hear it. That is really
Damn.
amazing.
Done us
Wow.
some pug lock.
He is not okay.
I mean, it's a dark room, and I can tell that he's choking.
Whoa.
Wait, what happened? What did I miss?
Nothing.
Dying. You guys might even be able to hear that from our microphones. Jeez.
I know what we should do.
What specifically broke you? No, you no.
Hold on.
Wiping the tears.
Donna,
You don't get the nope out of that.
you don't ever do this, so
wait,
you
can
have
I-
to tell us.
Can I be on record as saying I told you I was funny? I'm funny. Every last one of you. Just want to be clear.
There's never a question
the
in my
funny
mind.
one.
I missed it.
You can hear him from that room. Imagine
Oh,
going
man.
to live theater and movie theaters with that right next to
Right.
you.
Oh man.
The theater goes, and he goes,
Especially if it's not a funny part.
Serial killer from YouTube is saying, is Donna laughing, crying, or coughing? All three. All
Yes,
three.
all three.
All the above.
All
All of
three.
it.
That was
Yeah,
a
we
Dutta
really-
pug lock for
We
sure.
definitely
man.
need a Dutta-cam in there. I gotta.
Yeah.
So the plan is to take the old news camera, lift it, and rotate it around the side of the room and drop it back in. I just need literally time to make that happen and possibly more cable.
Sparker from YouTube says, do you consider inviting more regular engineers and scientists from NASA? I think they have a lot to share as well. Yeah, the thing is, it always takes the right person, right? The person who wants to come on and is interested in wanting to talk to us about these sorts of things.
And is allowed to come
Lisa
on.
Taji is like an amazing, perfect, wonderful, glorious example of such a person that we would want to
Mute
have
Mike.
to either have on or have back on.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, I know. Kitty says she's working on
I've
it.
got 5 people in my pocket right now that are all like, oh, I just need to figure out a date.
Yeah, so it's that type of person for sure. There's a lot of people. I don't want to speak badly about NASA in any way, shape, or form. But there are a lot of people that Ben and I have met through our travels. That lovely people, wonderful people, working on really interesting projects. Not science communicators. They're just not. Not everybody is. And
But I think that's okay in this new format. I think the new format,
it is,
because
but
there are
again,
so
I don't
many
want
people,
anyone to get intimidated by a big person. We are all big personalities.
I'm
And
not.
you get.
No.
Yeah, you're not though. You're
No,
the
I'm
only
not. I'm-
exception.
Yeah, I would buy that. Yeah.
You are. So anyway, but that's my point, is that I don't want anybody to get too scared off by saying, hi, not only are you going to be with us for the whole show, but we're all just going to be talking over each other. And when we interview you, it's going to be 27 against 1. Like, that's a scary prospect.
Yeah, but it's not really an interview. It's more just, again, I'm
You
not going to
see what I'm saying, though.
I do, but that's how we present it to the guests. Is we have to come up with a proper way to present it to our guests, and being like, it's not going to be 5 people interviewing you. It's going to be like we're going to be sitting in a round table just talking about space and then talking about what you're doing. It's just going to be a round table discussion. I think that's the way to do it. Johnny Spacey says, problem for many potential interviewees is that tomorrow's only done on Saturdays. Excuse me. One of the things we want to do, if we can get
It's
enough
the soda.
funding. Yeah, it is. Get enough funding is not necessarily just do our shows on Saturdays. They need to be consistent so you guys know when to show up. But yeah, I think. But for that, we need people that work on the show more than just in their spare time. And when you're working in the aerospace industry, especially in new space, all of these new space companies absorb your life, and just the fact that we can do the show at all is like.
It doesn't even matter if it's Saturday or not.
Yeah.
Ozmoz one off of YouTube says, I want some Virgin Space people. Yeah, like.
Wait, like people who aren't used to space, or people from Virgin Group?
I was reading it as people from Virgin Group.
Yeah, I was too, but
Yeah.
Because I think
The other one could
Pomerantz
be
in this
we need to
particular
reboot the hologram.
I know.
Pomerantz in this particular setting would be phenomenal.
Amazing, yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like if you want to talk about somebody who knows the space industry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and I know that we're throwing in a lot of names of people who have already been on the show, but bringing them back in this kind of format, I think, would be really fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
And Pomerantz has his own white chair.
Oh my God, he could bring his chair.
I don't think he still has it, honestly,
Yeah.
but that's okay. Yeah.
Smokey Dirk, Virgin Space people who are from space and virgins. Yep.
I mean, I guess that could be, that could be a thing. Stephen Huxtable asked if this was a green screen planet behind us. It is not.
John Burr, I have a friend on the team for one of those orbiting telescope things. Cool. Hubble? Should I ask him if you want to be on the show? Yeah, absolutely. Ask all of the people.
Yeah, totally. Oh, yeah. My
Crash.
He's still on, but everything just went blank on me. I'm back. But
Boom goes the chat room.
yeah, that was really crazy.
All right.
Anyway,
Yeah, get us
hey.
your friend who does the orbital telescope thingy.
so Kevin F has a suggestion. You could change orbit.44 to orbit.44, like Star Trek Stardate. I think that would be cool. Did they really do point?
Yeah.
Stardate 147.2. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is 0.2. Yeah, point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could change to 0.44. Orbit 11.44.
Yeah, if you want. I don't care.
Dada's saying no, but what Dada doesn't know is I secretly had him design a Star Trek ship, not a Star Wars ship.
Obviously not
was
Star
clearly-
Opera ship. Duh.
Obviously not Star Opera ship.
You didn't give me the budget for the good one.
That's because you had a budget of 0 for the good one. Well, the good one would be like Firefly. Oh, yeah. Right? Yeah.
I think you two just became best friends. So.
Okay, so at work for Halloween, because Halloween in the United States was Wednesday, October 31st. For those of you who don't celebrate Halloween or maybe celebrate Halloween on a different day, which I found out that not the whole world celebrates Halloween. My bad. Anyway, my point is that at work, some people were dressing up as a whole slew of different things.
By the way, everyone's chat is actually dead. You're not updating.
Copy. It was really fascinating. But I was talking with Ben at lunch that day, and I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. We saw there was somebody as Beaker from the Muppets, and it was really, really incredible. And there was one guy who built his own Ghostbusters
Proton pack?
Proton pack. It didn't just light up. It had the different lights in the different sequences. So if you did different things with it, it would light up different ways. It made the proton pack, the noise, the thing.
And it captured ghosts.
It was amazing.
He had the trap too?
No.
No, it didn't have the trap. So you could capture the ghost, but then you had to let it go.
Ben is just making things up. Don't worry about him. Anyway, but there was and so those were really
ghosts
incredible.
at the space
But there were a
station.
couple of extra things that were that made me laugh. This one guy dressed up as the Pope, and Ben's like the Pope, and I said, yeah, the Pope, and he's like, like from Firefly. I was like, no, like the Pope. What is wrong with you?
Well, I mean, come on, that's fair.
Old dude, Rome, Catholics, all that shenanigans, like the Pope. The Pope. Yeah, it was such an obscure reference. But later on that day, I saw somebody dressed up as Mal,
Malcolm Reynolds.
and I was like, hey, you'll get this. And so I told him about the exchange, and he just sort of laughed and walked away. And I was like, I don't know if I made a connection with that kid or not.
Wait. Heldesk is saying we had a net split. There's no way. This shenanigans on that. Unless maybe the Twitch room did a net split, but we're not. I don't buy that for a moment. Not on the Tomorrow room. Like we're not that. How do I word that? So basically, back in the day when we did shuttle stuff, our rooms would get so large, the IRC rooms would get so large that they couldn't have more people, and the rooms would split into like two, and then they would actually split again. You just have this like storm of people coming in. But and while I that would be an awesome problem to have, I don't think we're even close to the numbers necessary for that. What? Oops.
What?
It was that on our.
Huh.
Huh. All right. He's saying not overflow rooms are not the same as net splits. All right, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I remember those days. Those were crazy days. JK3 Farden from Twitch. Can you hear me? Sure can.
Yep.
Just saying. I can see people. I feel like most of you are not old enough to remember this, and it was also a relatively regional thing, but there used to be a show a million years ago called Romper Room. And the host...
I don't know what that is. I know what rompers are, and I'm kind of worried.
Yeah, I
heard
know.
of it.
So.
You're too young.
But
I know. But the host would hold up what
was
she
like,
would say was like her
yes!
magic mirror, or the mirror, but it would actually have like instead of a mirror, it's just an oval cut out, and she would sit there and she'd be like, and I can see Sarah and Jared.
Oh,
and
so weird.
like that kind of thing to the camera.
she said-
So like
she
that's
said my
what it
name.
kind of reminds me of, because I'm like, I can see YouTube and Twitch
and like
and
moms
IRC.
could write in, right? And
Yeah.
say, hey, could you say my kid's name?
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And which was particularly
I
like.
can see Sarah.
But I
Yes.
was super jealous as a
And
kid because my
Mike.
name was like so unusual. Clearly, my name would never be read in
Right.
any way, shape, or form.
Unless somebody asked specifically.
Right.
for-
Well,
So
no,
what I
I've
described
done
were overflow rooms. What a net split is, and do correct me if I'm wrong, that's basically when you've got multiple servers connected together, and like one of them splits off and like gets disrupted. And it sounds like that's what happened here, in that the beta server busted away from the main server.
Yeah.
I'm getting...
That's what I'm saying. Romper Room is really, really old, so don't worry if you don't remember it. Thank you to Dada for the Wikipedia page on that.
Let's see, am I back here yet? Not yet.
It's Russell Crowe on
Am
that
I?
show. I'm
yeah,
not sure.
Yeah, I'm back. So I have questions for you.
Me?
What is the ultimate answer to the life universe and everything?
42.
Right, that's
the
the
mice.
right answer.
Ask
That's
the
the
mice.
right answer.
Yeah.
So I saw on your Facebook you have like a demo reel for acting.
I do.
So you do acting
I
as
do.
well?
I do.
And one of them in particular was you in like a space capsule on like an interstellar journey, and you're like talking about what it
Yes.
felt like. I'm just like, what is this? I want to see the whole thing.
That is from my short that I'm still editing. It's called Alone, and it's about 7 minutes long.
Do we get to premiere it on the show?
If you would like, then I
would-
would love that.
I would like
because-
to do that. That would be
Oh my gosh.
amazing.
That would
Yes.
be
Oh my
great.
gosh, that's so exciting.
Actually, I'd like to premiere it on the show, and then I'd like to run it again with you, with its audio off, and you talking over it and telling us all the backstory.
Oh, like the director's cut?
Yeah,
Right?
Director's commentary.
That
That
would
would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Oh man, so yeah, I'm editing it right now. It's a final mission report from our first crewed mission beyond the solar system.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were sent toward Proxima Centauri B.
That's so
Did
cool.
it end well?
I hope not.
You'll have to watch.
It's
Called Alone, so
How far in?
If it ends well, there's no drama.
I mean, if you're in editing, you've completed shooting.
I shot it. It's
all pre-pros done.
Yeah.
That didn't sound convincing.
Yeah, no, it is. I'm just working on okay.
Was it like a lot of like heavy green screen, or did you have physical
Astro
sets?
I
YYZ
had a
says
physical
no
set.
spoilers.
No spoilers. Cool. I wouldn't
Wow.
want to.
I'm busted. I can't update.
If you go to her Facebook page, you can see her demo reel,
Oh.
and there's like a snippet of it in there. And
So-
that set was freaking awesome.
That's actually
I thought it was green screen.
Oh, I can say this without doing spoilers. So that set so I used to work at a company called Global Effects. They make the best space costumes, space suit costumes on the market. They use like the same cover material as NASA does. So that Aces that I was wearing was a Nomex Aces.
wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Right? With proper fittings that work. The glove that I have on,
No way.
it's got the tombstone lock, everything. It is legit.
Do you have a promo or somewhere that we can air like now?
I have, it's in my reel that is on my website, sarah42.com.
All right. You want me to pull it down? Does the internet want me to pull this down and then drop it into Casper so that we can see this? Does anyone else care? I can put it in. We can put it into After Dark if you guys want. I'm waiting for the chat room. So keep telling your story and I'll read what the chat room
Okay,
says.
so the spacesuit that I was wearing was actually made for the Corps. Right? So when I went, okay, so that was Hillary Swank's spacesuit. That was her Aces for
Oh
when
my
they
gosh.
crash landed and landed the Endeavour in the LA River.
Oh my god. That's insane.
And the capsule itself was a modified LEM that was built for Apollo 18
Oh, that
with
awful
the
horror
space
movie.
spiders.
Oh.
Yes. So it looks a lot like a lunar module, but it's got some tweaks to it, and that was made for
the one
that.
thing that I'll give Apollo 18, even though that was a really silly, kind of Blair Witch Project type of horror
Right.
movie, is I loved how they incorporated the whole Roscosmos conspiracy theory.
Oh, yeah.
That they actually beat us to the surface of the moon, but they had a problem with their lander, couldn't get back, and their
Yeah.
cosmonaut died on the surface and covered it all up.
It was pretty, or he died on the surface, but was it because the craft didn't work, or was it because space spiders?
Oh,
With their,
are
like,
they the ones who
quantum
chewed
burrowing?
through the
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, they're like weird phasing thing that they did. It was like, oh, we're on the outside of your helmet, now we're on the inside. What? Sorry, spoilers. If you haven't seen it, it's like 6 years old, so whatever. But,
Yeah.
but it's actually kind of cute. Like Europa Report. That's a cute movie. Totally plug in random sci-fi.
Yeah.
But
It's always interesting to me to see a lot of these modern movies, like how they treat the technology and how they treat their sets and their habitats,
Yeah.
and whether or not they're do the whole okay, we're gonna have artificial gravity so that we can actually film this and not spend a
Right.
bunch on
Yeah.
or if they try to do the whole microgravity thing.
yeah, like The Martian went both ways. In space, we're going to have 0G, but when we're on Mars, it's 1G.
And I liked how there was, oh gosh, what was the scene in the movie? What was he even picking up? But he was picking up something, and it's just like, yeah, I'm Superman on Mars. I wouldn't be able to lift this on Earth.
I don't know if that
Or
made
am I
in the movie.
confusing
That was
that
in the
with the-
book. I think it was
Oh,
in the
you're
book.
right, you're right.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
there were like
that's in the book.
when he's like popping the nose cone off of the the map, he's like, you shouldn't be having that much trouble with it. It's 500 kilograms on Earth. Like that. Like it's 500 kilograms. So you're in Martian gravity. So it's
Yeah, you should be able to handle
like
it.
120 pounds,
Tops.
right?
Yeah.
So like Matt Damon could have knocked it
Wow.
off. Matt Damon! Oh man.
Wow. But yeah, that's super cool though.
Yeah, it was really fun to shoot. It was so I'm a filmmaker, and so I have an accountability buddy, a writing buddy that we make sure we keep ourselves on track
Accountability.
doing like art, because we have so many other jobs where we're all running around, and like a couple friends and we sat down and we just counted our jobs, and it was 3 of us, and between the 3 of us we had 15 jobs.
Boy.
Yeah, and those were just the ones that paid. We weren't counting acting, writing,
Right,
directing.
right.
No, it was
Yeah,
it's
just the paying jobs.
just the paying jobs. And so that means every week we're running from various places and picking up where we can. And so Yeah, if I'm occasionally frazzled here, that's because I was working probably till like 10 o'clock last night and doing what I can, trying to get the snooze done at some point between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. when I have to head out.
Yeah.
So
See, I would love for the crew of tomorrow to do extra sort of shorts or skits like that aren't necessarily news related. They might not even be
Darian's like,
serious.
nope,
I would love
nope,
to do
nope.
funny ones and even serious ones. I would
totally
love
on board.
that.
One of the comments that I marked but has gone way beyond was somebody was totally on board for doing a projection on the wall and having the seats turned around and just doing a Mystery Science 1000. It's Mystery
that
Science
would
Theater.
be so cool. Yeah,
Right?
tomorrow's Science Theater.
That would be pretty
so
fun.
cool.
Oh my God. Right?
That
And
would be awesome.
So somebody
Flip
had
the
that
seats
on the
around, have a
chat.
projector right here, and this is the set of the tomorrow's Science Theater.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Wouldn't that be cool?
that's not a bad idea.
And we can watch all those horrible sci-fi movies
Yeah.
you guys love so much.
So
Not
if that was your
horrible.
idea, I'd repost it because I missed it before. But so that was somebody's idea.
I think I pulled your reel. So like it
Oh
was,
my.
it was the reel, right?
Yeah.
Like
The
your
real-
upper
the
grip.
really real?
So Jenna, do you have? Did it show up? All right. We haven't tested this in
real.
Casper, so there's a possibility it's all screwed up.
Okay.
Let's find out.
There's some non-space stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yep, that's me. That's my headshot, yo.
Oh, here we are.
First step beyond the solar system, and it has been a success. We were never going home. Even if we had made the trip back to Earth, after 400 years it wouldn't have been home. This is our place, and it was our privilege to have made this journey.
80 miles of air is enough to scatter the blue light just a little bit, just enough to give the sky a bit of a bluish tint. But if you look at sunsets and sunrises, that amount of gas is enough to scatter that blue light out almost completely. So that what you get is a red, vibrant sunset or a bright pink sunrise.
Are you fucking kidding me?
God, that was so good.
Frank?
Oh, not as good as that.
Attack of the Sarah. Oh man. But yeah, that set though, and like how it was, like, were you guys like doing like a re-entry or something at that moment? Is that why like the camera was moving and it seemed like
the camera's in zero microgravity.
Exactly.
Oh, it's just you
set
set
in
it
front of
down
me,
and it was
and
floating.
yeah.
Okay, and that's why I want to see the whole thing because yeah,
Yay!
that's awesome. That's
Thanks.
awesome.
I'm excited. I've been working on it for quite a while now, and I need to get it finished. Oh, thanks, Jorg Walasek. I hope I pronounced your last name even remotely close.
How close are you? Like how much further?
So because I'm super anal space nerd, all of the filters in Premiere and Final Cut for signal loss, they're all analog signal. So I'm trying to build digital signal loss, which is, packet one becomes stale data, gets overwritten by a secondary packet. So I want it to visually feel like you've just lost your signal on your satellite feed. And we all know what that looks like, but none of the filters do that easily. So I've been working on trying to build one that works to my satisfaction.
Makes sense.
But build the processes, I should say.
Also check out if you haven't DaVinci Resolve, because that...
I know it's color, but I have not.
Oh no, it's all of the things.
See, this
now.
is okay. I don't even have.
Here's
DaVinci
why it's
Resolve.
awesome. DaVinci Resolve is all of the things.
Okay.
So it does all the color that you would normally see in a movie.
Right.
It also does all of the editing. So we've actually moved away from Premiere entirely here.
Wow.
We're only using Resolve. It's
Okay.
way the hell faster than Premiere.
Okay.
Because Premiere is a pile of steaming poo. That engine behind it is awful.
Dude, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's awful.
Okay, I thought it was just me.
No, it's terrible.
Okay, because I've shot this. Okay, I shot this on my iPhone in 4K, and because it's low light conditions, it was doing a variable frame rate, and Premiere choked on it, and I put it into Final Cut, and it ran just fine. And looked at all the forums, and it was like, oh yeah, Adobe said you shouldn't be shooting anything that does variable frame rate, so the problem is yours. It's like,
Cool. Throw it in Resolve, see what it does.
Nice. Will do.
And you'll be able to color grade it like a real movie because that's how they color grade real movies. And they also baked in Fairlight audio, so you can actually do full-on like actual sound production. By the way, for free. All of this is free.
Yeah, somebody told me that. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they baked in the nodal compositor, which is their nodal compositor. Crap, I forgot what the name of it is. Anyhow, that's all built in. So you've got this like insane, crazy effects engine, this insanely crazy audio engine, and then like all of this other stuff, and it's completely free. Or for $300, you get the pro version, and it unlocks a whole other slew of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a one-time thing, not a monthly thing like Premiere. Yeah.
Cool.
Not noodle compositor, nodal.
Like Kung Fu Panda. All the noodles.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna play with
Bye,
that now.
Astro YYZ.
Bye. Bye.
There was something else that I wanted to share, and I just want to find out whether or not I can share it with everyone so that you all can see it, or if I just want to share it with just you guys. We have a rough draft for the project that I've been working on, Borderless Labs, to possibly build a CubeSat and open up makerspaces, and the whole reason why I was in Jordan last month.
So why were you in Jordan?
So the whole purpose of our thing is we're trying to create online educational video content in multiple languages so that students, especially underserved students all around the world, can learn in their native language and excel, right in their own communities. And open up maker spaces that would give them all of the tools so that they can have, tackle real life challenges and tackle real life challenges. And then also to one of our first projects is to build, test and design a CubeSat.
Sure.
And we want to do quite a few interesting things with this particular CubeSat. Do you guys remember the NASA asteroid redirect mission, especially the spacecraft that had the bag capture system? That was called Shepard, and that was from Dr. Bruce Damer. And I actually have the rough draft of the video that I can share with you guys.
You have to drop it on a drive.
Okay, I'll drop it on the
And
drive.
then add it into the rundown. So my question, and what I've always wondered on this is, don't you run into ITAR ear constraints here? I mean, probably less ITAR because of the prop, but definitely ear.
And that, with a lot of that stuff, as far as my research has gone, a lot of the off-the-shelf parts, especially from vendors in Europe, we would be able to send it to the first lab that we want to build, which would be in the country of Jordan. Not just in Jordan, but in one of the Syrian refugee camps.
Well, it's not just sending, it's the information exchange, right? It's that information exchange is what, fundamentally, is what's not legal. So how do you get around that?
Well, as far as I could tell from the vendors, especially in Europe, that wouldn't have been an issue because we're not necessarily.
That's irrelevant. You're a U.S. citizen.
So just because I'm a U.S. citizen.
Yep, you cannot do the information exchange.
Okay. This is more information that I need to look up for it because there's still everyone that I've asked, I've gotten.
I would just
conflicting information.
Just be careful. Well, part of the problem is that ITAR changed. So for those who don't know, there used to just be ITAR, right? Which is the International Trade and Arms Regulation, Trade and Arms Regulations. Blah. And that basically anything in aerospace got lobbed into ITAR, which was terrible because like every component on this rocket, including like a video camera, was locked under ITAR, and I couldn't talk to anyone about the video camera. Even if the video camera is made by like Sony. Sony makes a video camera, I can't talk to them about it at all. I can't request anything, I can't do anything, it's locked under ITAR. All I can do is basically buy it, and it was stupid. I'm oversimplifying, but that was it. So then they actually moved a lot of stuff out of ITAR. So ITAR is locked into like mostly just the things that you would expect to be in there, like propulsion, turbo pumps. I don't remember all the things that are lobbed into ITAR, but it's just those things. And then the rest of it got thrown into something called EAR, which is export. What is EAR stand for?
Yeah, I forget. I'm looking it up right
just
now.
Just do ITAR EAR.
Export and raisins.
Export and raisins. That's what it stands for.
That's what it was. Very clearly.
Right. Yeah.
It's export something regulations.
Yeah. It's a much lesser, easier thing. Yeah. What is EAR?
Export administration regulations.
Okay, right. So that is actually just more of an oversight, less aerospace-y thing. And while it sounds like it's awesome that things moved out of ITAR into EAR, it does make it easier to do things with other countries, except that now you have to understand, like, the complexity of all of it just skyrocketed 9,000% because you have to understand, like, what touches what aspect of where and who you can talk to and about what and what you can actually send where as well. And both of these things are not just physical hardware, like being able to send things in and out of country, but more importantly, information exchange. So it extremely limits what U.S. citizens are allowed to do. And I can't just go to France, for example, and then say, oh, I'm no longer in the U.S., blah, blah, blah. As a U.S.
From
citizen,
my understanding, they could not touch the boards that we were going to be using that would have any of our avionics or any of that type of programming installed.
Nor can you tell them about it or show them anything about it at all. You basically can't talk to them at all about those things. Yeah, that's where things get really tricky. Because it's not just the hardware, it's the actual information exchange that the U.S. Department of Defense really doesn't want to have happen. Because you look at people who you probably don't want to have this technology, right? It's not just the ability to buy it, but it's the ability to make it. And that's the fundamental thing. Anyhow, I was just curious. I would probably recommend talking to a lawyer on that one, because there are, there is no, oh, sorry, oops, I didn't know on these. That's just an immediate, you go to jail, you're fined $100 million, you're never coming out kind of thing. Yeah, they don't, and they execute on this stuff. So just be careful is my only. So anyhow.
But kind of the idea, though, is that, and then it is uploaded to the drive now. You might see it in the 1144 folder under Borderless Labs Rough Cuts.
Yeah, did you add it to the rundown if you...
link it in the rundown?
Yeah, then it will show up to Rundown Creator.
I'll go to After Dark here. Yeah, Seki says, the mower man followed me from AZ.
How's your chat room?
Mine's working.
Mine's working.
Cool.
And that is added to the rundown. So yeah, going over there was a trip of a lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, not only did we get to see so many amazing things, but the people that we met, especially the kids that were in the refugee camps there. I was so impressed with how smart and ingenious these kids were. And everyone had cell phones, and there was a couple of them that I was having, conversations about space and rockets with that I was just like, how do you know this? And they're like, from the Google.
From the Google!
The Google gave it to us.
Oh man, I could not believe it. And yeah, the idea with the makerspaces is getting 3D printers, given telescopes, microscopes, fully equipped labs, and just the space part of it is just one aspect. That's just the part that I'm kind of focusing in on. But there's so much that we want to do with it.
They have the world's largest microscope. Microscope. Is it a big dirty church?
If things go,
we got to do it on this hill floor. Look at a bunch of rocks and gas out there. Everybody's a bunch of holes cut in a big sheet. How do you explain that?
Hey,
gotcha.
Cool guy.
Hey,
cool guy.
So yeah,
I have a very serious question.
She is extremely passionate about science and space. She wants to be an astronaut and astronomer.
I want to be an astronaut and astronomer too.
We met in a Syrian refugee camp in Jordan at the Relief International Center. And on our recent trip across 4 different continents, we had the opportunity to meet more inspiring kids just like her. But to explain, I need to start at the beginning. Hi, I'm Nadia. I'm a scientist, traveler, and filmmaker. And this is Space Mike.
Hi, I'm Space Mike, a science and space journalist. And together we are Borderless Labs.
Our mission is to create online educational video content and maker facilities to give underserved students like Badr the tools and skills they need to create sustainable progress for themselves and the world around them.
As one of the kids we met described it so accurately, we're living in a Mad Max present, but we aspire to a Star Trek future.
So we traveled to the Azraq and Zaatari Syrian refugee camps and the Suf Palestinian refugee camp in Jordan to hopefully make this dream a reality for these kids. Their love for STEM, or STEAM, is not only a passion, but an escape from their current harsh reality. STEAM stands for Science,
Technology, Engineering, Art, Math. We believe students can use science to understand the world around them. Math to measure the world around them.
Engineering to improve the world around them.
Art to express themselves in the world.
And technology to do all that and more at the same time.
This is why everyone deserves to have opportunities in STEAM.
We are creating online educational content in multiple languages so students can learn in their native language and excel where it matters most, right in their own communities. By creating labs without borders, we can connect and collaborate from multiple continents and in space, and tackle the questions and challenges that will advance humanity forward.
For one of our first projects, we developed a program to design, build, test, and launch a CubeSat that'll be a first of its kind contribution to science and humanity. These tiny spacecraft can be used for hundreds of purposes, such as holding solar panels, batteries, and cameras. And we want to demonstrate the possibility of harnessing resources in space.
But this isn't going to be done by the space agencies of the world, but by kids, students, refugees. The skills needed for this operation are going to help these students provide for their families, their communities, and their futures.
The first CubeSat project has been fully funded, but in order to complete our mission and provide knowledge and scientific opportunities to more students in underserved communities around the world, we need your help.
You can help make a difference in these students' lives.
The pyramids weren't built in a day, and in order to make this project happen, we need your help.
For just $1 a month, you can give these students the opportunities in STEAM.
We're going to build the first lab in Jordan and the United States, with hopefully many more to follow. We are Borderless Labs, and together we can
go make something! Be the change by becoming an everyday philanthropist.
So yeah, that's our the rough edit so far. There's still a couple of changes we're going to make, but yeah, that's Borderless Labs. That's what this project is all about.
John Spacer wants to know how you got involved.
So this project was actually started by one of our community members, by Mac Malkawi. He is Mac in the chat room, and he actually invited me out back in May to go see the Antares rocket launch. That which one was that? Was that 08? Yeah, it was 089. And just as like, hey, you're one of my favorite rocket people that talk about rockets and spaceflight on YouTube. Like, I would love to share this experience with you. And I'm just like, of course, like I would love to do that. So we went out there and kind of pitched the whole idea to me then. And I've brought it up a couple of times with you guys, and wasn't sure exactly how much stuff that I could fully talk about. But one of the big things that I did want to kind of pitch again today is that this could be, at least our initial project, could be the CubeSat of tomorrow.
So for me, the legal side would have to be taken care of because it literally could be everyone going to prison. So once that's taken care of, I'm okay with that. But like, it sounds like you guys have a lot of work on that front to make sure all of that goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I do look at that and I go, yeah, it's definitely a
lots of legal issues. That
yeah. But and that's actually one of the reasons. So I've wanted to as you may know, I've wanted to crowdfund a space program for a long time. I think. People get excited not just about talking about it, but doing it, right? And so I think there will be a time, not just yet, but I think there will be a time when an entire space program can be crowdfunded. What I cannot get my head around, and I have tried, is actually ITAR. And so that remains my
And so from the stuff that just from the research that we've put in so far, we fully understand that there are lots of technologies, even off-the-shelf technologies, that we could not export over there. And all of the work on those type of things and the final integration would all be done here in the United States. But learning how to use 3D printers, printing out models, having a test article that isn't even the full of hardware,
no, but it's
and
the
doing
information,
all that type of testing there. Yeah,
it's that information exchange that's the problem. And so and for at least from my vision of a space program, it would obviously tons of information exchange because that's the whole point, right? You want everyone to get excited and understand this stuff and all that fun jazz, and that's precisely what ITAR prevents. So that's I do think it's exciting, and I'm certainly not saying no. I'm saying once lawyers say this is okay and that the information being exchanged is acceptable, I would be on board with that. But prior to an actual ITAR lawyer saying something like that, I have to, as a LLC entity, like have a barrier there, because otherwise I could be liable as well, and then I would go to prison, as would everyone else in this room, and that would be bad.
Yeah. Yeah. In any case, though, regardless of whether or not we build the CubeSat, because again, that's just one of our projects, and that's something that we very much want to do. There are so many other projects that we want to do. I mean, just in that video, something that really impressed me was there was this group of girls that just with mesh, plastic cups, cotton swabs, they were able to successfully create a makeshift water filtration system.
Oh, that's really cool.
And they had this really dirty, muddy water that had like cigarette butts floating in it and everything. And by the end of it, I don't know if it was drinkable, but it was clear.
You didn't try it?
No, I didn't try it. Well, you're not supposed to drink the tap water there at all. But I was so impressed, and how quickly they did it, and trial and error, and they wouldn't give up on any particular design that they figured out just as a small group. And so I'm just like, given the tools, what can these kids create?
Oh yeah.
You know, what can they do for that's especially important for them right there in their own communities?
Oh yeah.
I mean, the Zaatari refugee camp has one of the largest solar farms in the world, and so they're able to have electricity access there, but they need clean water. They need to be able to. They're importing pretty much all of their drinking water in the country of Jordan right now. And so, you know, they need processes, you know, some of which that we already exist, and to be able to upgrade the infrastructure that they have in the country. And so that's a big local problem that they have right there, that given the tools, what could some of these ingenious kids come up with?
Yeah, I'd say I agree with Siri. I have no idea how to say that. I'm sorry. Iriot?
Yeah, I think maybe.
I'm sorry. Apparently our chat integration is dead, so that doesn't work. Saying it's a great outreach for a great purpose. Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree.
Yeah, and it falls right in line with the sticker you have on your laptop, which is
Space is for everybody.
Yeah.
And space not only brings out the best in people, it brings people together. Doesn't matter where you're from, what your race, religion, or any of that is. Space brings people together. And the fact that we built the International Space Station with the Russians, the Europeans, and the Japanese, and so many other partners, that blows my mind on a continual basis. Especially us and the Russians trying to, you know, all the BS and trying to kill each other over all this time, that we were able to do this project, and that's why I am so drawn to space flight. Yes, I'm drawn to a lot of the nerdy technical details about rockets and spacecraft. You know, that's my being a car guy, I guess. But that's cars for me. That's cars for me. I don't care about cars. I don't care about cars, though. You know, people point out different cars, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. The only car that I get excited about is Teslas. But rockets, yeah, that's my thing, and I can tell you all sorts of nuts and bolts. You know, but the human aspect of it, just seeing how people are able to collaborate and cooperate from all over the world to make things happen that we're reporting on week after week, is just, you know, that blows my mind. And so I want to share that.
Yeah.
I want to share that with as many people as I can and help people get technologies that aren't necessarily restricted under ITAR, that don't fall under aerospace, to give a lot of these kids access to those tools. And that's just where we would start.
Yeah, you remove the aerospace part of it, yeah, that becomes really easy then, right? Because ITAR doesn't apply anymore, and you're good to go. There are a lot of questions actually on ITAR.
Not to say that we want to give up on that. I mean, we would. I personally would
ITAR
try as
changed.
hard as I can.
So here's the fundamental thing that everyone needs to understand. So VTO 80 says, wait, a lot of this information available on the internet. Why would we might be risking jail? What everyone needs to understand is ITAR is antiquated, out of date, and never actually served the purpose in which it was intended. And I think the politicians understand that, and they've been working on changing and fixing it. So it's constantly undergoing updates and fixes. That doesn't mean that, and that as someone else said, Jazz throughout, because ITAR is idiotic, that's why. And I fundamentally agree with that. ITAR is idiotic.
Yeah.
And you're not wrong, right? You can find this it's always been my gripe against ITAR. You can find the information on YouTube. You can find it on the internet, but I still can't talk about it. And just because it's stupid doesn't mean that it's legal. But it is changing. So, you know, if you start the process, maybe by the time ITAR changes, everything will be good. Maybe it's already changed enough where you're okay. I actually don't know. That's where Space Lawyer would be, or ITAR Ear Lawyer would be handy. But yeah, so fundamentally, I think it's actually good and inspirational idea. I just, you know, I have to worry about the legal side of it because I live in that world. unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. Even without those legal challenges, though, I mean, it would still be, you know, a couple of years before that CubeSat would be ready to fly. I would think anyway. Regardless, though, if you guys believe in this project, and I mean, first off, the support that you guys give tomorrow just blows my mind. All of you that are contributing to our Patreon and making this happen, allowing us to be able to have an amazing space like this, it just, I mean, you guys do a better job at thanking the patrons than I do, because I get emotional every time. But it seriously is, what you guys do for the Tomorrow Show just really touches me. And if any of you guys believe in this project, even just for the outreach, all we're asking for is just $1. For our Patreon, we only have 2 levels for it, $1 and I think $5 level. We're not asking for huge donations or anything. We just want to get people excited about space and science, about STEAM, and share all of that. I didn't even talk about some of the engineering ideas and some of the science experiments and art competitions that we want to do. We want to do this across the board, all the aspects of STEAM. So, yeah, I think it's I think it's a worthy cause, and you know, if we're successful in this, we don't just want to end there. We want to start opening up places like this that could be a community across the world. I mean, we're already in talks with people in other countries. I don't know. Yeah, I'll stop there. I'll stop there.
I did like the idea. That's one of the things that I've always been sad about on Tomorrow is multilingual. Right? Because, you know, we say that Tomorrow is a show for in fact, even on our strategy sheet that we have is that Tomorrow is worldwide, but that is an untrue statement today because Tomorrow is only English. And, you know, that if people can't understand what you're saying, literally can't understand you, then they can't get engaged by you and they can't be inspired by you. And so I think that's actually a very interesting and compelling part of that is the ability to be multilingual.
Yeah. And something that was really cool for me when we were visiting there is another viewer of the Tomorrow Show who lives in Jordan. His name is Ja'afar, not Jafar, Ja'afar. He is a fan of the show, and you know, I announced that I was in Jordan. And he's just like, "Holy crap! Like, are you in the capital, Amman?" And I was, and so we were trying to coordinate back and forth. And it wasn't until the day that I actually left that we got to meet up. And such a cool guy, such a cool guy. Oh, and by the way, everyone in Jordan spoke English, so I had no problem communicating with anyone. And me and Ja'afar were talking hardcore nerdity about all things rockets, and you know, it was just like, dude, we need someone to do the kind of the space aspect things of our educational content. Like, how would you feel about, you know, doing your own attempt at like a monthly launch report or a launch minute in Arabic? And he was all on board for the idea. So, you know, that's just one example of talent that we are already starting to bring in to produce content in Arabic. Start with that, because that's where our first lab that we want to open up is. And, you know, have more content in English, you know, have content in Swahili and Japanese and in whatever, you know, wherever we are able to open up a lab. And to do cool things. I mean, just on a science aspect of things, you know, Discovery Channel and things like that are popular over there, but it's all in subtitles. Sure. The only content, especially on YouTube, that you're seeing coming out of that whole region is either prank videos or pseudoscience videos.
That's not
and
good.
There's a hunger for it. Just the kids that we talk to are just like, yeah, I wish that we had our own SciShow. I wish that we had our own Discovery Channel, but that was in Arabic. So just imagine, you know, a girl who's passionate about biology, coming and you know, swimming with the sharks, or petting a tiger at a petting zoo, telling you about the biology of this tiger while she's wearing a hijab and speaking in Arabic and communicating that to, you know, her peers. I mean, I think that it's just a really beautiful idea, and you know, start with the Arabic world, and hopefully it'll be worldwide, truly borderless.
Cool.
And yeah, there's lots of legal issues that have to.
Yeah, but you can overcome those with a simple lawyer, right? These are easily solved problems, right? Just get the right person on it. Make sure that they go, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. Boom, there you go. And it might mean that you need to tweak your format a little bit. Like, I'm not sure. CubeSats generally don't have prop on them, but avionics are still going to be an issue.
Definitely.
You're right. So, but in the information exchange, blah blah blah. But you can still, like you talked about the water side of things, right? There's still that side of things. You can remove some of the aerospace stuff, get the ITAR ear stuff worked out. Boom, boom, problem solved. Because fundamentally, your vision is bigger than just the CubeSats. It's all of that. That's just the one little itty bitty
That's just
thing.
yeah. That's me
Yep.
and Mac inserting our love for
Sure.
space into this idea.
Sure.
And you know, and that's kind of a way too to kind of get that international collaboration. Just what I was talking about of how space brings people together. So yeah, but with everything that we want to do.
Well,
there's
on
so
that
much.
note,
There's so much. There's so much. So thank you for allowing me to share that.
Of course, it's good video.
Yeah.
Excited to see the final. All right. On that note, I think we're winding down. I'm getting hungry. I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm getting hungry too.
Oh, gee.
My hunger.
Rah. All right. So I'd like to thank everyone so much for watching, and we'll see you in a week. Bye.